If you are disciplined, work hard, and have confidence in yourself, nothing can stop you from reaching the dizzying heights of success. These are the immortal words of Milkha Singh, the legendary Indian track and field athlete, who with his sheer dedication, willpower, and supreme confidence in himself, put India on the world stage with emphatic wins, with numerous accolades and gold medals at national and international tournaments. If you listen to Milkha's quote closely, you would have quickly realized one important fact. No matter how strong and skilled you may be, you cannot achieve success without self-confidence. In all of the achievers who have come and gone over the decades and continue to motivate us today, the common factor between all of them has been self-confidence. This trait and quality set them apart from the rest of the crowd. In our pursuit of personal and professional success, we often take this vital aspect for granted, which can prove to be a make or break. Confidence is the supreme key to success, and if you too want to tread on the path to achieving your dreams, join me on this fascinating journey of winning the battle with self-confidence. Hello, I am RJ Rafael, and you are listening to the audiobook, How to Be Confident in Any Situation. I'm sure you have set a name for yourself and are taking steps every day to make it come true. It could be personal, professional, physical, or mental, but one thing is for sure. You have that one aim you have prioritized and want to achieve. Each one of us has similar priorities and aims and goals in our lives, and we are all constantly searching and experimenting with techniques and tools to achieve them. But we seldom remember that the greatest tool to succeed in achieving that goal is present within us. Self-confidence is an amazing success mantra, which, once realized and worked upon, can work wonders for us because no matter how skilled or qualified we are, without confidence, all our hard efforts are futile. But how does one achieve and work on building self-confidence? The first step is to exercise a positive attitude, without which one cannot fully utilize one's mental and physical capacities, which ultimately affect inner or self-confidence and hamper your success. Take, for instance, the story of Milkha Singh mentioned earlier in this episode. Orphaned during the partition of India and Pakistan, Milkha was forced to live in refugee camps. He then joined the army, where he was pushed to work on his physical fitness given his natural penchant for running. The army helped him realize his full potential as an athlete. As his confidence grew with each national track and field trial that he won, breaking records no less, Milkha was able to use his newfound superhuman ability, his growing self-confidence, to push through the toughest phases of his life and conquer every race, going on to even win accolades and medals for India across the globe, from Tokyo, Japan to Jakarta, Indonesia. Did you know? Milkha Singh ran barefoot at the 1958 Commonwealth Games in Cardiff, UK. While many of the European spectators were quick to take humorous jibes at a strange Indian man with long hair and no shoes, the Flying Sikh bolted to India's first international gold medal in record time at a time when the Indian Athletic Association did not even have access to professional running footwear. His belief in his inner abilities got him the last laugh. Such is the amazing power of self-confidence. These days, with the ever-growing competition around us, we are easily affected by opinions and words that, instead of motivating us, end up demotivating us. We hence lose self-confidence and commit mistakes or lose out on potent opportunities. Be it the result of an examination or a job opportunity, once our self-confidence is shaken, our hard efforts are also derailed. Nothing can stop you from succeeding if you have self-confidence and are constantly working on improving yourself. Challenging circumstances can often affect self-confidence negatively, forcing us into pessimism. But truth be told, in these very circumstances, you'll need to identify your inner strengths and powers. It is under extreme pressure that diamonds are cut, after all. Confidence is a mental and spiritual power with which even the toughest of challenges can be turned into opportunities that convert into your ultimate success. We have often seen how an individual who would have performed 100 tasks perfectly quickly attracts criticism and negativity because of one tiny mistake. This setback directly affects their self-confidence, triggering a domino effect that results in the individual's inferiority complex, destroying their inner confidence and hampering their progress through life. It is our duty to motivate and boost the morale of such an individual by identifying their positives to help them rebuild lost self-confidence. Likewise, suppose you have uncertain thoughts about a goal or priority on the professional or personal fronts. In that case, you will not be able to perform tasks to your full potential because you're either afraid or apprehensive about a given challenge. The reason is a lack of self-confidence that eats you from the inside, like how a pack of termites hollows wood. The best way forward is to strengthen your inner power of confidence, which in the time to come will help you succeed by winning over the toughest of situations. To overcome self-doubt and apprehension, developing a positive approach in life is important. One must have complete faith in their actions and decisions and total confidence that the direction they are taking will yield positive results. This means that the individual is self-confident, which helps him believe in himself, and belief in oneself will always pave the golden path to success. If you currently find yourself in a challenging situation or task that you don't fully understand, and feel is affecting your self-confidence, then try engaging in an activity that helps you utilize your inner abilities and boost your confidence. Always keep the window to learning open, because with learning comes wisdom, which grants you knowledge, and knowledge is power. Remember the first time you rode a bike or flew a kite? When you sat on the bike for your first ever ride with your father or mother holding the bike for your safety and balance, you were still a nervous wreck. You would turn the handlebar in whichever direction as butterflies stirred in your stomach. You were scared of any obstacle in your path, like a speed bump. Likewise, when you first tried to fly a kite for the first few times, you might have most certainly, like me, failed to understand the gusts of wind and instead fought it with all your might. The result? You either broke the twine, or your kite tore open and came crashing to the ground. Or in the bike's case, you lost your balance and earned yourself a band-aid. In either case of the bicycle or the kite, the first trial was seemingly insurmountable. But by the second or the third attempts, you only got better until one day, with practice, the skill was embedded into your subconscious mind, and your confidence in yourself grew so much that taking on the challenge now became child's play. Wasn't it enthralling to have overcome these challenges and succeeded? According to psychologists, self-confidence is a way of accepting and implementing your talents and inner abilities. This means that you are in a comfort zone with your own capabilities, have trust in yourself, and are in complete control of your decisions, actions, and life. This stage is derived from identifying one's strengths and weaknesses and exercising a positive approach. Self-confidence is also a magnetic quality that attracts others. If you are confident, with an affable attitude and a warm and welcoming smile, and are not afraid to look people in the eye, they would naturally want to converse with you and know you better, instead of someone who might be sitting in a corner and avoids eye contact. This can be summarized with a simple yet popular phrase: trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. There are scores of such examples and situations from which we can take inspiration to polish our inner abilities. This very self-confidence makes something as little as an ant lift objects 100 times its own weight and carry it to its burrow. Mountaineers, too, use this same confidence and belief in their abilities to scale the highest of peaks. Deep divers use this strength to cover incredible distances underwater. Self-confidence is a collected treasure trove of inner qualities that help us achieve the impossible. With this superpower, people have overcome insurmountable odds and made a mark on the world. Let me give you a great example. I'm sure you must have heard of S. Ramanujan, the genius Indian mathematician who devised more than 3,900 new groundbreaking theorems, such as the Ramanujan prime, the Ramanujan theta function, partition formulae, and the Mach theta functions, that opened avenues for new fields of study and inspired a vast amount of research across the world. But did you also know that he had no formal training in mathematics? It's also impossible to believe that, as a child, Ramanujan hated school and avoided attending it. A child prodigy who was relatively quiet and shy, by age 11, he had exhausted the mathematical knowledge of 2 college students who were lodgers at his home. After being lent a book on advanced trigonometry, he mastered it by 13, while discovering sophisticated theorems on his own. By 14, he was the recipient of merit certificates and academic awards that continued through his schooling years, and he even completed mathematical exams in half the allotted time. Ramanujan had always suffered from frail health and succumbed to illness at the very young age of 32, but not before making a mark on the world with his study and mathematical knowledge, which was only possible because of his inner confidence and trust in his abilities. Another inspiring modern-day celebrity is J.K. Rowling, the first novelist to turn a billionaire with her excellent Harry Potter series. But for her, success was tough to achieve. Her circumstances were so desperate at one point that she also contemplated suicide. But not one to succumb to such negativity, Rowling worked towards finding her inner confidence, and once she identified her strong points, she created history, and there was no looking back. Similarly, who hasn't heard of American animation producer and media business magnate Walt Disney? He, too, saw many ups and downs throughout his life, and like Ramanujan, was of an extremely shy and self-deprecating disposition with an inferiority complex. But it was ultimately his trust in the fact that one day, his art, themes, and vision would change the entertainment world forever that helped him create Mickey Mouse, a household name today that is loved by children and adults alike the world over. From comic books to cartoons to animated motion pictures and theme parks, Walt Disney's characters have filled the lives of millions with joy over decades. The key to his success was self-confidence. Having glanced through these legends and their experiences and achievements, it is easy to deduce that self-confidence is directly related to one's surroundings, family atmosphere, education, and cultural values, which affect each individual differently. While some of us are born highly confident, Others have to work hard to polish and develop this vital quality. So if you're someone who struggles to put your opinions across openly, is not able to look people in the eye, or is apprehensive about facing a challenge or situation and loses out on opportunities because of these setbacks, then this series will prove to be very helpful to you. Another way to learn to boost your self-confidence is by attending workshops, which are organized in plenty these days. Don't miss out on attending one if you're looking for help. The other name for self-confidence is belief in yourself. It is a tool that guides you toward realizing your self-value, that builds your individuality, and helps you make brave decisions and take action without fear. Self-confidence is a state of mind that is not hampered by difficulties or challenges faced in life. One is entitled to have a positive or negative perspective on things and situations as long as one has clear trust in oneself. One can change the personality just as one can change their thought processes to assess a situation or solve a problem. The key is confidence in your thoughts and action, which can bring about a positive change in you, not just temporarily, but permanently. Confidence is trusting your inner strengths and abilities and your talents. If you do not trust yourself, then your life has no direction or value, which is why it is pivotal to build your trust in yourself. Believe in yourself first, and the world will follow. Self-doubt is the killer of ambition and dreams, so it is imperative to be courageous and build your inner confidence. Imagine this. On 13th April 1970, aboard the Apollo 13 mission, astronauts Jim Lovell, John Swigert, and Fred Hayes found themselves stuck in space in a claustrophobic craft that was fast losing oxygen, thanks to an explosion that had damaged the propulsion system of the ship so severely that there was no way to propel it back to Earth. Their only communication was via radio with a NASA team, some 180,000 miles or 300,000 kilometers back on Earth. There were no visual aids, no one to help the crew, and no rescue. What do you think helped the astronauts safely get back to Earth in such a life-threatening situation? It was their inner self-confidence, their trust in their abilities. This episode will discuss key factors that can boost your inner confidence. You are aware that confidence is the key to success. Personality development depends a lot on one's self-respect, which is developed only through self-confidence. If you want to be listed among achievers, then you must work on building your inner trust. People with low or no confidence can never achieve success, let alone impress or inspire others through action. But for our benefit, there are a lot of ways through which we can build our self-confidence. For example, did you know that communication is 90% body language, 5% words, and 5% eye contact? Body language can make or break a conversation, relationship, or opportunity. As they say, the first impression is the last, and once you walk through a door, your confidence levels can instantly be gauged through your body language. A head held high or bent can have contrasting effects on any professional or personal situation. If you look at any of the achievers amongst us today, they all exercise positive body language. This is a key marker, a differentiator that sets them apart from people with negative body language because of a lack or loss of self-confidence. If you have a habit of scratching your head, shaking your legs, or twitching your neck multiple times, then you have shattered confidence, and these habits will need to be reversed immediately. Instead, hold your head held high instead of slouching your shoulders over. Walk with a purpose and don't drag. Develop a habit of maintaining eye contact. When you meet someone, look them in the eye, smile, and offer them a firm handshake. This will help you exude positive signs of boosted self-confidence. If you feel you lack any of these positive traits and habits, develop these into your personality. Do not always long for appreciation from others. Don't shy from being appreciative of yourself as well. This is key to building self-confidence. If you are too dependent on the appreciation from others, the effect can be counterproductive too. Instead, focus on engaging in active and convertible efforts daily. This can be done by helping those in need. Selfless contribution and volunteering build your individuality and pride in yourself, ultimately boosting your confidence further. Many of us are aware of our talents and inner abilities, but many of us also do not know about them. Human beings are capable of amazing things if only they realize their potential. So if you're unaware of your inner abilities, having a conversation with friends and family can bring them to your attention more often than not. Following up by proactively working on these newfound abilities will automatically boost your self-confidence. Having a positive attitude or staying optimistic can also help you achieve success. Optimism helps us assess challenges with clarity and declutter our minds. It helps us stay calm under pressure and identify strengths and weaknesses. Optimism is also pivotal to teamwork and gaining support from others. Whom would you want to help after all? Someone with a negative thought process or approach to a problem, or someone who is calm and optimistic about reaching a solution? Staying positive also depends on how healthy your body and mind are. An average of 8 hours of sleep daily works wonders in maintaining a calm and positive mind. Erratic sleep exhausts the tired body and disturbs the mind-muscle connection, which is pivotal to performing activities. Without proper rest, your mental assessment is hampered, which in turn damages your confidence. Because of a lack of self-confidence, we often fear facing certain situations in life. That's why it is crucial that anything that scares you, whether it is public speaking or deep waters, you must give it a try. Take the stage and deliver a short talk. Dive into the pool and experience the depths and buoyancy of the water. Once you've crossed this hurdle and stepped out of your comfort zone, you will see immense growth in your self-confidence. A healthy body holds a mirror to a healthy mind. Both are interrelated, and one can't function without the other. In fact, between the two, it is the mind that is the stronger factor when it comes to building your self-confidence. With mental strength, you can even enhance your physical personality. Hit the gym, work out every day, and play a sport to keep your body agile, flexible, toned, and muscular. When you inspire others with your physical appearance, it, in turn, boosts your confidence. A lethargic body and an inactive mind are foes to your progress and growth. Another benefit of staying healthy is the decluttering of the mind and body. While toxins are secreted out of our systems through sweat when we engage in physical activity, the brain simultaneously releases endorphins. This hormone boosts positivity and helps us reduce stress, thus making us feel happier. A happy face means a positive attitude, and a positive attitude helps us tackle any situation with calm and self-confidence. Ever tried mock sessions? These are particularly handy when faced with a public engagement like a presentation, party, or meeting. If you lack self-confidence, try standing in front of the mirror daily and talking to yourself. You are, after all, your best judge. This will help you identify your inferiority complex, overcome unnecessary fears and apprehensions, and also help you boost your confidence. Most of us often commit a mistake while setting a goal by aiming too high or going for too big an achievement right from the onset. Instead, aim for small accomplishments and small victories. Remember that it takes every drop of water to make an ocean. Never forget to appreciate yourself for every minor achievement. This will only add to your confidence. Work towards developing new skills and acquiring knowledge every day from every source possible. Today, information is available at your fingertips and the world is your oyster. Never compare yourself with anyone else. Know that each of us is capable of extraordinary things in our capacities. The world's population stands at more than 7 billion, and it is said that there are 7 types of every individual on Earth, which makes you 1 in 10 million. It does not matter what the world thinks of you. Work towards your own happiness, satisfaction, and liberty without worrying about the results. Remember that you are the best the way you are born. Height, weight, caste, creed, color, ethnicity, race, and other factors do not decree your success metric. One does need confidence to progress through life, but there is also a very thin line between having confidence and going overboard with the quality of being overconfident, which can instead do a world of damage to our lives. In the late 15th century, the Vijayanagar Empire, spread across the southern half of medieval India, was one of the mightiest and richest kingdoms anywhere on earth. Ruled by Aliya Rama Raya, the descendant of the legendary Krishna Deva Raya II, the empire's opulence and trade were unparalleled, with the ornate capital city of Hampi attracting even the Roman Empire to seek business with it. As the empire grew in power, opulence, hegemony, and riches, the rulers became arrogant and lethargic over time, turning a blind eye to the Islamic threat that was beginning to loom large in the bordering regions to the north. Until the middle of the 15th century, individual Islamic kingdoms had dared to engage in war with the Vijayanagara, but all their plans and conspiracies were either thwarted via sly political alliances or crushed through mighty military offensives. By 1565, the Islamic sultanates of Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar, and Bidar secretly formed an alliance to challenge and annex Hampi, the capital city, in a bid to expand Islamic hegemony in the south. On 26 January, the day of the battle at Talikota in 1565, 2 of Vijayanagar's most trusted Muslim generals suddenly defected to the sultanates. In a decisive move that forever changed the war's outcome, Rama Raya was defeated and beheaded, and Hampi, the once beautiful and opulent capital city, was razed and abandoned overnight, never resettled. Laying today in ruins, Hampi stands testimony to what damaging consequences overconfidence can have on an individual, king, or a mighty empire. Confidence thus is vital, but overconfidence is damaging. Confidence stems from self-belief. It is magnetic and hence attracts others as well. It is the key to success, and a confident individual is always in a positive state of mind. Confidence helps us maintain a rational perspective on life, which is also pivotal to growth and inspiration for others. Had the emperor valued the empire and not turned arrogant and blind in his overconfidence, the kingdom could have lived on for another 1,000 years. The decisions he made with overconfidence destroyed the legacy of his forefathers. You'll be surprised to know that people, more often than not, get confused between confidence and overconfidence. Confidence is when we make rational decisions that stem from clarity and trust in our abilities. On the other hand, overconfidence is when we take the same for granted and overcompensate for them. This happens because of the insecurities we experience when we try and mask our self-doubt. It is not rare to see arrogance and wrong decision-making traits in overconfident people. A confident individual is never over-keen in proving his point. He exercises patience, exudes positivity and inclusiveness, and does not crave attention or affirmation from others. He is not afraid to speak his mind and yet charms everyone, captivating others with his wisdom. Confident people are honest with themselves and focused on developing their strengths. On the contrary, an overconfident individual who likes to hear his voice is interruptive and always desperate to have his say. He is preoccupied with what others think about him and is cautious of others pointing out his mistake, which he doesn't take well. Such individuals put on a facade of finesse and come across as rather fake. It is hard to follow them or trust them. By identifying these red and white flags, you too can work out your personality by adopting positive traits, abandoning the negative ones, and judging others well. An overconfident individual is under the impression that the whole world revolves around him, and if he stopped helping others, they wouldn't be able to progress or succeed. He is focused solely on his praise, while on the other hand, a confident individual is always ready to help and work with others in achieving a goal, and thinks of the team's success. This makes a confident person instantly accepted and appreciated, while an overconfident individual is avoided and ignored. Regardless, the overconfident individual lives in his utopia, blind to what he is losing in life. Confidence and overconfidence both have contrasting effects on our professional lives as well. While it is effortless to work with confident colleagues because of their clarity of thought and smooth decision-making, an overconfident colleague, on the other hand, is erratic with his workflow, cannot maintain good relationships, and is not a team player. He thinks he is better than everybody else and takes unwanted risks to prove a point, jeopardizing a given priority. Once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight, or any experience that reveals the human spirit. There is hardly anyone who would disagree with this quote from E.E. Cummings. Self-confidence is a superpower. Yes, you heard that right. It is a cape that gives you amazing abilities to face situations with courage and easily overcome obstacles. In the Indian mythological epic Ramayana, Hanuman, Lord Rama's ardent devotee, embarks on a search for Sita, Rama's wife, who is abducted by the vile Ravana, king of Lanka. After turning every stone and looking for her in every nook and corner of the country, Hanuman suddenly faces the mighty ocean. Overwhelmed by the sheer size of the sea and perplexed with how to traverse it, Hanuman sits worried and confused when Jambavanta calls out to him and reinvigorates his self-confidence. Hanuman was a mighty being of superhuman strength and capabilities, but seemed to have lost his confidence when faced with an intimidating challenge. With his boosted confidence, Hanuman is then able to realize that no obstacle is too big, and he builds a floating bridge across the sea and walks into Lanka with his army. This story holds a vital moral for all of us. A confident individual commands respect regardless of whether he is a carpenter, driver, farmer, engineer, scientist, millionaire, or pauper. They are made of true grit and strong will and are always ready to help others and make sacrifices for the family, friends, or country. A confident student is aware of his success and is always humble and ready to help the weak students, and he doesn't stop short of sharing his knowledge with others. Likewise, a confident mason helps a beginner learn the skill and in turn produces many skilled masons. Similarly, a confident businessman uses a small investment to establish a business, which in turn generates employment for many, which is the greatest service to humanity. Self-confidence helps us help ourselves while treading the most challenging paths. A confident individual never shies from taking up a challenge. In fact, he thrives on one. On the other hand, an unconfident person will never be able to achieve their goal. We have witnessed amazing achievements made by people over the years, read about them in the newspapers, and watched them regularly on television. These inspiring people are confident individuals who have bent destiny to their will through sheer confidence. Some of these milestones seem unbelievable, but they are also true. Take, for example, the feats of the people featured in the Guinness Book of World Records. The achievers are not aliens from another planet, but ordinary people like you and me. The difference is their self-confidence, with which they have achieved the impossible. We have seen a differently abled person scale the heights of a mountain, and also seen humans sending probes to Saturn and into deep space hundreds of billions of miles from Earth. History has witnessed to battles when a relatively small army platoon has defeated massive contingents in numbers just through sheer confidence. Alexander the Great will be remembered for eternity for his audacity, self-confidence, and courage, with which he conquered the world. Do you find it challenging to walk up to a stage and confidently speak your mind? Don't worry. It is normal to feel nervous when faced with such a situation, and most get cold feet when asked to do so. Public speaking courses are aplenty these days and cater to this very problem. But given today's hectic pace, if you too cannot take one of these courses, then don't worry. We are here to deliver the goods with great tips to help you become publicly confident. The first rule of effective public speaking is that you go in prepared, according to the place or venue and the public group you are going to address. With the knowledge available for free these days, it has become effortless to collect data and information to back your topic. Exercise mock drills, perform your talk in front of the mirror, record it on your mobile phone, listen to the delivery, and correct the mistakes. The most important factor to effective public speaking is that no matter how well you are prepared or how well you present your talk, if the content you deliver is not strong enough, you've got no show. So preparation is a must. To be an effective and successful speaker, engagement is another key factor in the making or breaking of your delivery. Aligning with your listeners' likes and dislikes, professions, and problems helps them instantly relate and connect with your content. This way, they are not alienated and are connected with you throughout your talk. Sharing personal anecdotes and experiences elevates your talk to an interpersonal experience. Mentioning achievers and calling out success stories from the crowd brings a pleasant surprise element to your delivery, while also making the listeners feel celebrated and respected. Confident and effective public speaking can have both positive and negative effects. In the case of Adolf Hitler, a charismatic orator on stage, he convinced an entire nation about being racially superior. He triggered off the Second World War, which led to the destruction of much of Europe. In the case of positive public speaking, one cannot forget the 1893 Chicago speech delivered by Swami Vivekananda, an Indian Hindu monk, philosopher, author, and religious teacher. He was a key figure in the introduction of Vedanta and yoga to the Western world, and is often credited with bringing Hinduism to the status of a major world religion. He became extremely popular after delivering his speech at the Parliament of Religions, where he began with the words, "Sisters and Brothers of America." The crowd erupted with thunderous applause, so much so that American newspapers described him as an orator by divine right and undoubtedly the greatest figure at the Parliament. After great success at the Parliament, in the subsequent years, Vivekananda also delivered hundreds of lectures across the United States, England, and Europe, disseminating the core tenets of Hindu philosophy, and founded the Vedanta Society of New York and the Vedanta Society of San Francisco, now Vedanta Society of Northern California, both of which became the foundations for Vedanta societies in the Western world. While addressing an audience, you must take acquaintance by touching upon relatable topics like the city and its features, memorable experiences from your earlier visits, anecdotes with people, and also mention a few of the people whom you know, if they are in attendance. Honestly, try and connect with the listeners. Transparency and interactivity are keys to a successful public address. False claims are immediately shot down, and self-praise and unnecessary banter meet the same fate. So it's best to be open-hearted, candid, and interpersonal with your listeners to win their time and attention. Eye contact, as mentioned earlier, is an inalienable tool in successful and positive public speaking. It shows that you are self-confident, unafraid, and open about your interaction with the public. It also exudes your focus and that you value your listeners' time by not looking here and there. Some people use the stage for self-glorification and to undermine the audience. Never underestimate the potential of your listeners. Assume that they are all well-read and that you are addressing a well-educated and qualified group of individuals. This will, in turn, help with your preparation and in delivering your talk in a concise, short, sweet, and simple manner. Using informal language instead of jargon is always beneficial and is better suited for literature. People like comfortable and casual interactions, and working within this comfort zone of the listeners will earn you brownie points. Have the energy of an auctioneer. Ever seen one on television or live? With his powerful oratory, he gets many to invest more than they had planned. Whatever the choice of your public address, stay positive and maintain a zest in your delivery. The audience's attention is directly proportional to your energy, An enthusiastic flow to your speech attracts the audience and hooks them onto your words, just like how the auctioneer hooks his buyers on. If you want to be an effective speaker, you must imbibe your speech's content. Having ready notes can help, but nothing beats practice, which makes perfect. The key difference here is between reading and talking, and understanding the nuances between written words and heard material. So keep practicing to be able to speak without having to refer to written notes. You can improvise instead of sticking to the material word by word. This also helps to informalize your speech, making it more friendly and easy on the ear. One must avoid criticizing the audience. Bickering about an issue won't solve it overnight. Instead, it will only earn you brickbats. So instead, come prepared with solutions and offer them informally and conversationally. The audience will also take you seriously if you open their minds to solving a problem rather than going around an issue in circles, repeating yourself. Know that your audience is well educated, researched, and groomed, and learn to appreciate them wholeheartedly for their participation and interaction. Acknowledgement is the first step to respect. When you respect your audience, half the battle is won. Adding humor to your speech can add attitude and confidence to your delivery. It also keeps the audience engaged and surprised. Pleasant anecdotes and one-liners add variety to your speech and keep the audience from getting bored. This is called value addition. But be cautious to refrain from making jokes on topics like one's religion, caste, race, political affiliations, family, appearance, and financial status. Short, sweet, and simple. This basic mantra is the go-to blueprint for effective and positive public speaking. Getting verbose with your topic shows that you're underprepared and trying to overcompensate by ad-libbing. The audience's time is precious, just as it is for you, so always try to wrap up within the permitted period. I'm sure you would have seen a blockbuster movie that stayed with you long after you left the theater. This is because the story began with an impact and ended with one. Likewise, start your speech on a high note and end it with an impactful one. It could be through an anecdote, a short story, a memorable quote, or an inspiring experience. Always end on a positive note that makes a mark on your audience. It doesn't matter what your profession is. With practice, patience, and preparation, even you can become an effective. There is nothing like a free lunch. Not every day is Sunday. These phrases adequately describe life, as nothing comes easy. From learning to ride a bike to getting a job, each step is a challenge, especially in the latter case as things get pretty cutthroat. As the competition gets stiffer, the circumstances get more complicated, and one has to struggle all the more to get a suitable placement. Placement is one thing, but understanding the role is quite another, so do you want to know how to get ahead of the curve? Many of us as candidates get cold feet before an upcoming interview. Some even get depressed. The reason is a lack of confidence and an absence of self-belief. This happens because of negative thoughts that preoccupy us. So why not learn to cut off the pessimism and boost our confidence? A job interview is a golden opportunity for anyone seeking a better life. We spend our lives preparing for that one interview that could forever change our professional and personal lives. We go armed with degrees, groom ourselves, wear the appropriate clothing, and even practice what we're going to say repeatedly. But all these efforts could be laid to waste if we do not possess that one superpower called confidence. A recruiter always expects confidence from a candidate and ranks it over qualifications and degrees because only a confident employee can add to a company's growth and progress. A candidate may be exceptionally well qualified for a job, but without confidence, his degrees rank for nothing in a work environment if he cannot lead his team, communicate, and manage priorities with positivity. This is also why a lot of candidates are rejected, given a lack of absence of confidence. This is how crucial it is to build our inner beliefs and self-confidence. The most important thing is to present yourself in front of the recruiter and ace that interview. It's important to remember that the interviewer is more qualified and perhaps even more experienced than you, so be conscious of these facts and do not panic. Instead, communicate openly, armed with confidence. According to research, most interviews are decided in the first 4 minutes. This is the window where a recruiter will decide whether to hire someone. So it is important to consciously take care of your body language, how you present yourself, along with your choice of words. Remembering that confidence does not mean you are better than everybody else is beneficial. It just means that you're well aware of your abilities and skill sets, which you should present without fear to the recruiter. Do not draw comparisons and focus on what you can bring to the table. A good way to prepare for an upcoming interview is by doing a mock test. Have a friend pose as the interviewer and have him ask you questions that might be posed to you on the day. Remember that the mind is sharpened at the whetstone of ideas. The more prepared you are, the more confident you will be when the kingdom comes. A vital point that most of us miss is taking care of our health. A healthy mind is a healthy body, and a healthy body reflects a healthy brain that is active, agile, and sharp. Make sure that you have a well-balanced diet before your interview. It will keep you from being lazy and absent-minded and only add to your confidence. but don't overdo it either. In India, there is a practice of consuming sugar and yogurt before embarking on an important job, errand, examination, or meeting. While the traditional values of this formality are well known, there is also a scientific reason behind consuming it. Yogurt is a superfood that is known to be a remedy for a lot of health problems. It is also known to spike the levels of endorphin, the happy hormone that makes our minds agile and boosts our stamina. Apart from keeping your stomach cool, which on the day of the interview will help a great deal, it also keeps other digestive issues at bay. Certain companies have specific requirements from candidates for the roles on offer. They follow customized interview processes, and in such cases, practice becomes king. Have mock interviews done and prepare for the questions that might be posed in the interview. This will set you up perfectly for the day with confidence and belief in yourself. Recently, Sampriti Yadav, a 24-year-old young Indian software engineer, landed a job with Google London that offered her $1 million a year. How did she go about bagging it? The journey to her dream job was a long and tough one. Earlier, she would feel nervous during interviews. However, her support system, parents, and close friends consistently encouraged her to do better by participating in mock sessions and suggesting and recommending tips that helped her groom better for the big interview. She would spend hours studying and researching big companies. According to Sampriti, most interviews with large companies are like discussions. Practice and more practice help her combat nervousness, and she took on the Google interview rounds confidently. Before landing the job at Google, she had appeared for nearly 50 interviews at various places, but it was ultimately her preparedness and confidence that made her dreams come true. Now, who wouldn't want that? When it comes to grooming, personality is a key factor. A confident person commands attention without even trying to do so, while an overconfident person, even if he turned the world upside down, is ignored. A pleasant demeanor and positive attitude ooze confidence and can impress even the toughest interviewers. You are as good as you feel, so dressing right is also a key marker for your confidence. It shows that you are aware of the culture of the workplace and are a disciplined candidate willing to commit. The CV. Some people end up turning it into an epic. It is important to ensure that the information you type in there is authentic and verifiable. If you have fabricated some parts of your resume, it will shake your confidence when facing the recruiter, so refrain from ad-libbing or exaggerating facts. Just like to achieve success, you will need the proper body language even when being interviewed for a job. Maintaining eye contact and being aware of not scratching your head or shaking your legs is vital to making a good impression. Another helpful tip is to have a glass of cold water before giving the interview and draw a long and calm deep breath. This helps ease into the session while making you comfortable and boosting your confidence. Do not rush and ramble through our sentences. Instead, speak at a controlled pace. This shows that you're in control of your thoughts and know what you're talking about. Always maintain a courteous and inclusive attitude. Avoid folding your hands and resting your leg on the other. Do not play with your hair, and do not check your phone during an interview. It's also good to draw inspiration from achievers who finally landed their dream jobs after years of struggle. Using their case studies, one can draw a lot of motivation and confidence by learning to imbibe their positive qualities. First, they will ignore you, then laugh at you, then fight you, and then you will win. These immortal words by Mahatma Gandhi are canon. This phrase's true meaning is that naysayers and cynics don't matter when you have self-confidence. Confidence is a quality that can be seen in every achiever, from a successful baseball player to a scientist, a doctor, or a movie actor. Every person has confidence, but the difference is that while some have oodles of it, others lack it. The point is to take it to another level. You would have seen achievers and their habits are distinct from others. They are not afraid to ask questions or to answer them. They are dynamic in their speech and exude positive body language. To boost your confidence, try and imbibe some of these traits in your daily life. In the pursuit of success, a lot of us often aim to become the jacks of all trades but end up being masters of none. Not everything can be mastered, so pick a topic or field that piques your interest and passion and groom yourself in it. This will give you command over the subject and you can become an authority in the field one day. You are the maker of your own destiny and you have the power of choice. You can choose to become anything, pursue any field, and groom yourself in any art form. This will set you apart from the crowd. This is not all that difficult to achieve. You would already have a preference, and all it will take is a little extra effort to learn the skill. Though this process is time-bound, it will take your confidence to another level. A person skilled in a particular line of work seldom worries about his lack of knowledge of the other. Why would Cristiano Ronaldo worry about playing baseball when he is supremely skilled and confident and an expert in his sport of football? One can draw confidence from past achievements too. It could be as little as a star in class, a medal in a race, an A grade on a test, or an Employee of the Month recognition. All of these little victories remind and reassure you of your skill sets and trust in your abilities. To revisit these experiences, you can jot them down in your diary or review photos from the event that make you feel good and positive about yourself. It is like creating a string of mental frames that remind you of your milestones from time to time. Your thought process paves the way for boosting our confidence, so think of yourself as a confident individual. Albert Einstein has said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge, so imagine yourself delivering an emphatic speech or a motivational talk. Envision an audience applauding your talents and skills. Having a high opinion of yourself is extremely important, which automatically builds your confidence. Do you know anyone who has never committed a mistake? I'm sure you haven't, because making mistakes is normal, and a fundamental right at that. Through mistakes, we learn to overcome difficulties and become better at work and in life. But what isn't normal is repeating the same mistake over and over again. As human beings, we are unique. We have what it takes to complete any task, yet many of us fail because we're afraid of failure. Our confidence is shattered when we entertain negativity. It is important not to fear mistakes. It is those who do not work towards correcting an error who should be afraid of failure. Countless biographies over the decades are testimony to the fact that setbacks and mistakes have helped achievers learn more, grow, and succeed immensely in their fields. Do you suffer from stage fear? Are you nervous when talking to the opposite sex? Well, these are signs of low confidence, my friend, and if you want to overcome this obstacle, then the best way is to go for it. Try taking the stage and performing a talk or a song, going to a person of the opposite sex and striking up a conversation. A try is always appreciated and, in many cases, reciprocated as well. Engage in activities that make you nervous. Break the barrier of your comfort zone because success starts outside of it. Once you have crossed over, you will become more confident and stronger. Seize any opportunity to prove yourself. Identify your strong points and work on them relentlessly. You are gifted already, and with just a little push and solid preparation, you will feel a complete transformation within you no sooner than later. This new version of you is much more confident, dynamic, and a far cry from your low confidence version. Preparation is directly proportional to self-confidence. With practice, you become an authority in your line of work and an expert at easily handling and managing priorities. Over time, success becomes a habit and the way of life and boosts our confidence in the stratosphere. Remember to remind yourself that your confidence does not depend on your education, financial status, caste, or religion. No one can make you feel inferior if you don't want to. It is only your hard efforts that will ultimately help you achieve success. If you want to walk on water, you must get out of the boat. It's as simple as that. Life is full of risks. Yes, what we can do to reduce the risks is to prepare. We can understand how deep the water is and if it is swimmable. Body language dictates how you feel about yourself and how others perceive you. It is essential to be dynamic and infuse positive energy into everything you do because energy is magnetic and trickles down to your friends and colleagues. But equally important is to stay original and not come across as a fake. To achieve this, face yourself in the mirror and practice self-talk. Self-talk is a routine that helps you understand what to say and how to say it to others, and in the process, it also boosts your confidence by ironing out nervousness. It is proven through research that thoughts power action, and imagination is inspired by reactions and experiences. When we visualize, we are training our minds to sequence a series of events. If repeated over time, this exercise helps us organize our thought patterns and allows us to act confidently. Exercise mindfulness. Stay rooted by feeling the earth beneath your feet and take deep breaths to calm yourself. Converse confidently and transparently with others. There is no rush. Now that you have streamlined your mind, let's experiment with how to communicate with others. You must work towards boosting your confidence to a level where you can talk to anyone. Do not underestimate the power of a warm smile. When you address someone with enthusiasm, they are automatically attracted to you and feel secure and comforted by you. Acknowledge your genuine pleasure in meeting the person and mention their recent achievement, if any, with a firm shake hand. Watch your pace. Rambling is a sign of nervousness, and you want people to perceive you as a patient, mature, and confident person who can be trusted. You must speak to a person as if he is the only one in the room. Focus your attention on the person and what he is saying to you. There is a big difference between hearing and listening, so listen attentively. Make a mental note of things that pique your interest, and appreciate the time the person has taken to speak with you with a smile. To exude confidence, pause, think, and then speak your mind. Small talk often opens up doors to longer conversations. This is an initial stage in trust building. Don't refrain from asking questions about yourself. This shows that you respect the other person's opinion of you and are willing to listen to his thoughts. One important key to success is self-confidence. An important key to self-confidence is preparation. Arthur Ashe. Taking Arthur Ashe's quote further, self-confidence is a superpower that enhances our wisdom and builds upon our inner capabilities. It helps us accept challenges and work in overcoming them, transforming our personality. A student who openly shares his opinion and perspective and participates in various activities is relatively more confident than, say, an introvert who is shy and avoids speaking his mind. Look at self-confidence as sails to a yacht. Without them, even the most experienced sailor cannot propel and traverse the sea. Likewise, no matter how skilled you may be, you need the wings of confidence to soar with success. A confident individual is always ready for challenges. Someone with low confidence is just as easily recognizable. Like they say, to each his own. Every child is different and hence adapts and evolves differently. We cannot change a child, but we can certainly shape their self-confidence so that they can work their way to success in the future on their own. Let me share an anecdote on how confidence can achieve incredible feats. In the history of the circumnavigation of the globe, Indian naval officer Abhilash Tomi's name will be remembered for time to come. Hailing from the lush green southern Indian state of Kerala, Abhilash is a seasoned sailor who participates in a race held every 4 years where sailors from around the world embark on an 11-month trip around the globe by sea. In the last race held in 2018, Abhilash encountered a sudden change in weather that turned the calm seas into a torrid storm in 15 minutes. Rushing atop to unfurl the sails, Abhilash slipped and fell from a height of 9 meters onto the yacht's railing, a fall that broke his back in 3 places. When Abhilash tried to get up, he was horrified to realize that his legs weren't functioning. Moreover, he had developed unstoppable hiccups as a response to the shock. In unbearable pain, Abhilash knew that the nearest rescue was at least 3 days away, by which time he would be dead. Though not the one to give up, Abhilash assessed his situation by calming himself down and aligning his thoughts. He knew walking to the cabin was no longer an option, so he crawled and consumed vast amounts of iced tea, making him throw up. His hiccups would stop for 30 minutes, during which he would take a quick nap, only to be woken up by another uncontrollable bout of hiccups and extreme physical pain. Abhilash focused on reassuring himself that everything was okay and, using his presence of mind, repeated the process for 3 days until a rescue boat took him aboard to safety. Once back on land, Abhilash spent 6 months in hospital, but amazingly within a year he was back kayaking and sailing short distances. Today, in 2022, as we speak, he is at sea, circumnavigating the globe again. That is the power of self-confidence. Had Abhilash been of low confidence, he would not have been able to assess his situation, align his thought process, or make it alive, let alone sail the seas again. We are often given the opportunity to prove ourselves, and if our confidence is shaken at the moment, we are dragged back to square one. A lack of self-confidence has an adverse effect on our personality, but there are ways in which we can build it. Ask any successful person, and they will tell you to believe in yourself just as they did in themselves. This stems from inner trust and confidence, which anyone, including students, can use to ace a test or a challenging examination, extracurricular activity, or debate. We must turn our weaknesses into our strengths, and whatever you think makes you weaker, you must face it head on. This eradicates the fear present within us and strengthens us to shatter any obstacle to achieve a goal with purpose. But what is the difference between a goal and a purpose? The efforts toward topping a subject are the ultimate goal of any student, and the efforts towards acing papers to achieve the goal by studying hard, reviewing material, and self-analyzing are keys to covering small milestones. Small milestones from the stepladder to ultimate success. Remember that perfection is small things done well. If you're apprehensive about talking to someone, you must consciously make an effort to maintain eye contact with the person. This shows that you do not have hesitation and are honest and transparent. It also helps others understand your position and opinions clearly. All these practices are inalienable toward building your self-confidence, which will benefit you alone in the long run. Whether you are not able to speak in public, suffer from stage fright, get nervous when leading a team, or can't strike up a conversation with the opposite sex, confidence helps you do the exact opposite and get involved. It helps you break your inner shackles and speak your heart out. No matter if people find your words humorous, remember that this is for your own benefit and not anyone else's. You are your maker, my friend. Give your 100% and watch yourself transform. Always follow a plan. Getting involved doesn't mean following someone else. Participate, take the lead and ownership of a task, and focus on performing it best. Working toward the bigger goal and achieving small successes invigorates your passion and leadership qualities, enhancing and boosting your self-confidence. Have a strategy ready, and make small yet convertible efforts. Put your words into action and follow them to the T. Keep reminding yourself of your goal and aim in the back of your mind. This way, you can stay streamlined, dedicated, disciplined, and focused, qualities that others perceive as your confidence. A lot of people are afraid of committing mistakes. No one person's fault-free. Any achiever has succeeded only by learning from past mistakes and actively and consciously working on them. Some of the biggest investors have lost millions only to learn from bad deals and build billion-dollar empires, so take a cue. Don't let mistakes scare you, and trust yourself. It's wise not to expect a win-win situation always. Learn to take rejection in your stride. Setbacks in life are inevitable, but they also teach us worthy lessons. By introspecting on a past hurdle, you only get clarity that you can use to your advantage in the future. The self-confidence of students depends on circumstance and environment. A student can be great at basketball but silent and taciturn in class. We must remember that every individual is special in their own way, and try to bring variety, to bring out the best of each one's unique abilities. One size doesn't fit all. Just like how we need a little booster in multivitamins to stay healthy and active, variety too acts as a multivitamin in invigorating young minds and breaking monotony. Human beings have a superpower, and that is self-confidence. It is a tool that is not available in the market. Instead, you and I are born with it. All it takes is effort. Iconic writer Mark Twain once said, "I know grammar by ear only, not by note, not by the rules." Confidence is a powerful tool we need in almost every aspect of life. Be it our professional pursuits, personal relationships, student life, job or business, or acquiring a new skill, we need confidence to succeed. At times, while learning something new, our focus crumbles and we lose interest. This is because we are conscious of the opinions of others and undermine ourselves. English today has become the operational language of the world. It is a common thread by which international diplomacy, relations, and trade are conducted. It is the most commonly used language that billions of people use daily to communicate confidently with each other and with people from different countries. This means that our speech doesn't always necessarily have to be perfect. As long as the message is passed on with clarity and logic, it's a job well done. So let's look at some good tips to feel confident when speaking in English. Is your verbal or written English weak? Do you feel inferior when conversing in English? Does your confidence tank? Well, that is probably because your native tongue isn't English, but you use it, like billions across the globe, as an operational language. It is important to be confident when using English, lest you miss out on a deal or a job opportunity. Learning English is not as difficult as it seems. In fact, it is one of the easier languages to pick up. These days, scores of online classes are available that teach English grammar, pronunciation, and delivery, and that too, free of cost. We are in times where every minute counts, so there is nothing better than to have tutors at your fingertips. You can listen to audio shows like this or watch videos while working out, driving, cooking, or resting to brush up on your linguistics. The best way to learn any language, including English, is to read it aloud. It could be a newspaper, magazine, social media post, or book. Reading aloud clears your throat while helping you understand pronunciation by listening to your voice. Another good way to polish your language is by placing the blunt end of a pencil in your mouth and reading an article or book aloud. This method is taught at acting schools and theater groups and has proven effective. Sample some of the works of Stephen Fry or Al Pacino for reference. Another good way to speak good English is by conversing with a friend or family member. The advantage here is that, given the comfort of your home, you won't feel bad if you make mistakes. Moreover, it is more often than not our near and dear ones who point out our errors, which works wonders for our self-confidence and progress. If you are new to the language and want to learn it, then take to books. Start with a simple children's books available online and off the shelves. Learning a language has its challenges, so online tutorials available plenty these days can help a lot. But just like with any new skill, it will take practice and repetition to master the language. Apart from speaking in English, watch movies and television shows that will help you understand accents and delivery, expressions, and emotions. This practice will also help you construct short sentences, but over time, you can also build complex sentences on your own. If you do not understand the meaning of a particular word, then an online dictionary can help you immediately. Another very good and effective way to learn English is muscle memory. Develop a habit of writing in English. It doesn't have to be perfect, but rather a short sentence or half a paragraph at first. It is like subtitling in your style. Rather than thinking in your native language and then translating it into English, develop the habit of thinking in English. Pausing constantly to complete your sentences comes across as low confidence. Remember the mock drills I mentioned in earlier episodes? Try this with English as well. You are your biggest critic, and speaking aloud to yourself will help you polish your language while also improving your oratory and delivery in the language. Not only will your skills in English improve, but so will your body language, expressions, and mannerisms, which will ultimately boost your inner confidence. I truly hope that with this series you learned many facts and tools about boosting your self-confidence and that they will come in handy to you in your personal and professional life. Please share your thoughts in the comments section.